So here's something that I always wanted to try ever since they first announced the StarCrafts mod, and that would be to play a high-level game against another high-level player as well. Now, I'm definitely not the very best of Zerg players, but I would say I'm pretty reasonable. So today, I'm going up against a Master League Protoss, and we're gonna try and play a legitimate Zerg versus Protoss here. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the map layout and whatnot is a little bit differently, and I have no idea where to expand to first. I think this one would make the most sense. There is a little ramp leading down there as well, so I think this probably makes most sense. So this is going to be the very first attempt, and we're gonna try and play a legitimate, like, ladder-based kind of strategy that you would be able to see in the StarCraft 2 professional tournaments as well. And obviously that would involve a relatively standard kind of scout timing. I want to make sure that I get my queens out in time. I need to make sure I hit all of my queen injects. And it looks like my opponent, I hope he didn't spawn, you know, on my side of the map. We may have to do a little bit of scouting as well. I'm gonna go hatch gas pool though, relatively standard here. Yeah, we're gonna have a quick look around. The one thing to note though is that obviously I will need to adjust my strategy depending on what my opponent is going for. And I'm very used to doing this on the live version of the game. But this is gonna be working out a little bit differently, because a lot of the micro and whatnot and a lot of the control will be relatively different compared to what we are used to. But the funny thing is that obviously macro-wise, things are going to be rather similar. Looks like my opponent... Oh, there we go. I thought he wanted to go for a quick expo, but it looks like he was queuing up that cybernetics core already. Let's have a quick look. Oh, actually, he's going for a really quick nexus. I was gonna say that you know, seems a little bit on the later end, but he indeed did get his own expo out already. He's gonna go for the double gas here as well. So he's gonna play very greedy and may very well be looking to take that third base relatively early on into the game, which would mean that we're gonna take ours probably even a little bit greedier. Alrighty, so my expansion is up. I'm gonna go ahead and move one of my probes over to the newly acquired base. And I'm thinking, where do I expand towards my third? Probably over here. The one thing to keep in mind is that the maps are, like, pretty much designed to be played in a 3v3 fashion, which makes this a little bit differently than what I'm used to, but I think we'll be okay. I don't want to be losing my first Overlord, actually. I'm kind of in a bad position on those. Gonna be running across the map with the first Zerglings that I have, and I'm gonna look into getting a third base here already. Queens are spawning right now. Obviously, in case you're not familiar with what I'm doing here at all, we're currently playing the StarCrafts mod. And, oh, we even got a little critter right there. Nice. We're currently playing the StarCrafts mod, and obviously, that's an Adept. Adept are good against Zerglings. And obviously, this is like a complete remake of the StarCraft 2 multiplayer that is currently out in Legacy of the Void. I believe they are running the most recent patches as well, and, you know, it's a complete graphical overhaul, but as far as the actual strategy goes, it should be pretty similar. So I do want to go for an Overlord Scout here, just to try and figure out exactly what's going on. I do want to keep tabs of this, you know, potential expansion that my opponent has as well. We'll go ahead and put down a Creep Tumor here. And we're going to take out that Scouting Probe. Did take him out. Very nice. Now, if you don't see anything... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, if you don't see anything, we're going to go for Blind Spore Crawlers, but it looks like we are forced to anyway, because there is a... Yeah, there is a starport already going to town. I think that's an Oracle, right? I mean, what else is sort of round-ish in a... oh man, he's definitely gonna go Adept heavy. What else is sort of like roundish in that kind of, you know, play style in the starport? I haven't really seen anything else that should be round, right? I mean, it's not gonna be a Tempest or anything like that, so I think we'll be okay. All right, so I got my newly acquired third base going up right now, and so far, I gotta say, this is playing out very similarly. I'm a little worried here. I do see that third base go down really greedy. I'm a little worried here for the map design, because I'm not going to be able to punish that very easily at all. I do have a round of links here, so that should be fine to kill these Adepts. And I got a Spore Crawler as well, so I think we'll be okay. Oh, get him. Nice, very good. And Queen should be helping out here as well. Looks like we have managed to shut down that economy, or that aggression quite nicely. Very good. Alright. So, now that we've got, you know, that third base scout going on, and we know that he, you know, was trying to do at least a little bit of pressure, I think we're going to be in a good spot right now to start moving across the map with at least the army that we have, while droning up that newly acquired third base. I do also need to make sure that I get my, man, there are a lot of little ramps here. I do need to make sure I get my lair going here soon as well. I need to take a queen for that third base too. And you know what? I think I can just go ahead and try and see if I can get us around here. Haven't seen a Mothership Core yet, which could potentially, you know, give us a really good scenario here. Although, I don't think we want to risk it. Actually, we already have a third queen. Okay. Trying to get whatever kills I can. There we go. And... oh, I was getting burrow. That's why I all of a sudden lost that gas. Wasn't entirely sure where I spent it. Must have accidentally pressed the button there. That's all good. Queen, get him. He's very low HP. Did he get it? Oh, now she did. Now she most definitely did. Very good. So all things considered, this is looking pretty good. This is actually looking pretty good. I love the fact that it's totally playable. Like a real game would be. I love the fact that this is totally looking like an actual legitimate game of StarCraft. I'm gonna go ahead and add on a couple of roaches here. And I do want to be looking for a fort base. Actually, we're gonna take the fort base over there. Probably a little bit smarter. But this is looking exactly like it's playing the exact same way as a real real game of Legacy of the Void would. I'm not gonna lie, it looks so similar. Now, I gotta be careful because I know he's got a huge economy, right? So far, we've had his number for the majority of this match, and that's fine and dandy, but I do need to be careful about my positioning here. We'll go ahead and grab the watchtowers as well. And I want to go up towards a Hydra den here, as well as roach speed, as well as +1, +2. And we're gonna start producing some army here as well. So I've got a reasonable eco. I actually have a lot of income right now as well, and macro-wise I'm a little sloppy. Probably want to narrow that down a little bit, but I think once we get that you know, economy really going, we're gonna be in a good spot. Okay, time to start knocking down rocks. Always good. We'll see if we can try and open up a couple more of these alleyways. Alright, he's going actually pretty aggressive here with the adepts. He's got a ton of them as well. We'll back up. We'll back up. I don't have any banelings just yet. And while I do have my Hydralisk coming in, obviously adepts deal bonus damage against light. And that makes it pretty difficult to judge. But I think we'll be okay here. No need to engage too aggressively though. Until my Hydras are out. I just made a ton of them. Okay. We've got to force the cancel here. And we're gonna start making some army. I think I've got quite a lot right now. I can probably start pushing with that. Okay. Oh, once again, he does cancel. All good for us. I obviously do want to start thinking about getting up to a hive here as well. I'm getting that Bailing Nest just to counter the adepts. I'm a little low on gas, it seems like. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get those gases saturated at the newly acquired fourth. And he's scouting about here as well. He's going for a really greedy play. I'm gonna split up part of my army. Although it looks like my opponent is doing the same thing right now, and he's actually moving across the map. Okay. We've got a lot of stuff. Got a couple of links here, dealing some damage to that base. Also managed to clean up his aggression, and we're gonna morph in the Lurker Den here with our next resources. Although we got a massive fight here. We've got a massive fight, and I think I've got enough. See if we can force the recall. Oh, he's not going for the recall just yet. Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Morph in the Lurker Den. And we're gonna start knocking down these... Oh, my links actually found a way through. I didn't realize that you could actually get there. Just simply by walking up. I'm getting the Lurker Den right now as well, which should be good. I've got a massive army, and it's pretty well upgraded too. I'm gonna go ahead and get the +2 missile as well. Alright, we're gonna try and deal with this. Oh, gotta be careful. Force fields, force fields, force fields. Okay. We'll push up to its new base instead. I think I'm probably gonna be able to move there a little bit faster than him. And I'm gonna also move some workers over towards that newly acquired one. All good. Dealing a bunch of pressure here on both ends, and I'm gonna force him to maneuver around quite a bit, which is good. There's an immortal right there. And so far, this is playing like it's just a multiplayer game of StarCraft. It plays the exact same. As a matter of fact, I've got more frames doing this than I normally do in StarCraft, even though I've got a pretty solid computer. Now, we are trying to take trades here with his army, and I think we're doing reasonably well in that regard. No reason for me to go all out, though. I'm gonna back off for just a second. Lurker Den is about to finish up. I'm gonna start saving some gas. And I think after that is down, since we did cancel that fort base as well, after that is down, I think I could be pushing a little more aggressively. Saving up a bunch of gas now. That's the infestation pit right there. I had to look at what the building was. We'll get a hive while we're at it too. And my Lurker Den is done. My Lurker Den is done. Okay, morphing in as many lurkers here as I can. Let me make sure that they're going to be in a separate hotkey group here as well. There we go. And now I'm going to morph in a couple of Ravagers with the roaches that I've got left over. And I think it's time for us to start moving forward and start, if we can, or start checking whether or not we can potentially go for the kill now. Okay. So those units are going to be an absolute pain for him to deal with. If he walks into my lurkers, obviously that's very difficult for him to come back from. I've got a massive army right now. And those lurkers are going to go to town. Those lurkers are going to go to town. Woo! Man, lurkers feel good. Lurkers feel so good in this mod. Oh, oh, oh. Alright. We're going to see if I can actually outmaneuver him by going up to his own base. He is currently walking in through the little ramp, and he does say GG. Nice. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it actually turned out to be a very similar game, at the very least from the Zerg's point of view. Now, I did just talk to Dystopia from Team Prototype that I just played against, and he basically mentioned that for Protoss that played out a little bit, you know, a little bit differently, as he's got so many ramps and whatnot to worry about, and there are so many entrances into the main base, because it's, you know, by default a 3 versus 3 map, that it was pretty difficult to wall off. But as far as a Zerg player goes, I mean, I'm not gonna complain about being able to take several expansions, right? But honestly, if this is the only thing that is really keeping this map back in order to be played at tournaments and whatnot, I mean, that is something they can quite easily make in the future as well if the community wants it to be, right? Like, I mean, the units and whatnot in the game itself runs perfectly. It's just that the map may need to be switched out a little bit. Now, I have seen a couple of people ask, how can you play this mod as well? And as of right now, it is available in the arcade. So if you load up StarCraft 2, there's quite literally a massive button right here that says StarCrafts mod. You can click that and simply just create a game right there. And one cool thing to note about that as well, actually, is that you don't even need to purchase the game. You can just, like, I believe, play this with the starter edition. I believe the entire arcade is for free. Don't quote me on that, but you can at the very least try. Anyhow, other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Let me know down below the like button in the comment section of the video whether or not you would like to see more high-level Zerg, Protoss, and Terran gameplay. I would love to make more, because I'm really enjoying making these videos. It's so much fun to mess around with. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. If you don't already, do make sure you subscribe as well. And if you don't already, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Links are down below. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next video.